Hello everyone, we are back with Week 9 NFL preview. I can sum up every single game in just 3 words. And let's start with Thursday Night Football between New York Jets and Houston Texans. This can be summed up past, present and future. Well, it's obvious. It's reference to the quarterbacks of both Jets and the Texans. In Jets, you have Aaron Rodgers. We all know his accolades in the past. And CJ Stroud, his future looks fantastic. But what is their present for both these quarterbacks? Well, despite this being just the second season for CJ Stroud, I would say as of right now, he's arguably a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. But, and I don't say like that. I think Aaron Rodgers is actually taking too much blame. And that's coming from a guy that don't like Aaron Rodgers. I don't like the guy. I think he's too arrogant. I think he tends to blame people and too much, not really taking blame for himself. And I just don't like him personally. I think he's a great quarterback. He was. But I just don't like his personality. But as much as this shit that Jets is this season is on him for a lot, because of Al-Mazar, Devontae Adams, Hassan Reddick, blah blah blah, Robert Sarfari, I think everything has his pulse on the finger. But if we just separate Aaron Rodgers as a QB, he's not playing poorly this season. He's average to above average quarterback. I think he's borderline top 10. And I think there are stats that can back this up, there are some grades that can back this up, and even just an eye test. I do understand, everybody wants to put another shovel on his grave. I am happy to do so if he, if I feel he deserves it, but the hate just went too far. On the other side, CJ Stroud continues to impress me. But in this game, he will have to be without Nico Collins and without Stephon Diggs. So this is going to be a really hard game. One that, despite the records being 2-6 and 6-2, Jets are actually favored to win. And it should be actually quite a nice Thursday Night Football, in which we will see giant from the past versus hopefully a future legend. Then we go towards Falcons versus Cowboys, and to me this game can be summed up to weird all in, because in our season Dallas Cowboys were like, yeah, we are going all in. No, I was telling you Cowboys fans, this is not how all in is supposed to look like. You should not be paying Dak Prescott, no way. I mean, after half a season, it seems I was absolutely right on this one. I mean, yes, there has been injuries, but everybody has them, right? And there just wasn't any all-in move for the Cowboys, and I don't think they should do one right now, because they are in a bad spot. They're actually 4-1 underdogs to even make playoffs this season. And if they lose Falcons, that is going to go much higher. But on the other side, I would say that win all in is it even with Falcons, because despite they are now favorites to win their division, because Panthers sucks, Saints sucks as well, and Tampa didn't suck but lost half of their offense and has really big injury problems over the whole year. And that offense actually looks kind of nice for the Falcons. They went and drafted Michael Penix. And I know I said I'm just going to leave it with that. But for this matchup, this is it felt like, yeah, we want to use Kirk Cousins, this veteran QB, when we have guys on rookie contracts that we want to use. But come on, imagine if this team perhaps traded down and get Leia Tulatu. If this team had Rome Odunze to even improve on their offense, because that could have been one hell of a special offense. They are either missing one piece to make this offense look absolutely special, or they are definitely missing any semblance of pass rush. Their defensive line is bad, and they have really good playmakers in secondary, but when your defensive line cannot get any pressures, it's going to be hard for them to make any noise in the playoffs. So for me, both of these teams can be summed to weird all in. Then Ravens versus Broncos. To me, running the points. And this is obviously a reference to last week when Broncos faced Panthers and JC Horn and some of the announcers were like, dude, Broncos, you are trying to run the points on us. You are trying to like diminish us. You are not like, like fake punts, fake field goal kicks, 4-2 in situations that, usually the teams just try to punt and just win. Normally, they try to. And Sean Payton was like, yeah, I'm trying to prepare my team for this type of situations going forward. This is a young team. We want to give our special teams some prep. And so I'm like, okay, I'm okay. I don't think it was like, I think if anyone was like, that's kind of bad manner, I would say like Lions versus Cowboys, when Lions kind of try to make a statement by, scoring a touchdown with their offensive lineman, really just doing that for, last years, but it was not really Cowboys fault, right? It was a reverse mistake. So if anything was in bad manner in a way, like I would say that it was more that game than this one. But for this game, why I feel like this is real adequate title is because I think they will be running the points in this game, but it's not going to be by Broncos. Ravens are pissed. They've lost. They have really bad defense. Whether it's losing Mike McDonald, where it's like some health issues, the defense sucks. It shouldn't suck based on talent, or it shouldn't suck this bad. And they will need Lamar and Derrick Henry to really run the points, and I think they will. So, then we go, Bills versus Dolphins. To me, this is survivors on field. Obviously, Damar Hamlin and Tua, both players that suffered horrible injuries or situations on the field that almost like should have ended their NFL career, but almost ended their lives. And somehow, like in a really twisted way, it was Damar Hamlin that caused latest to a concussion, but they shall meet again. And to me, this game is about these two guys. Like, it's great to see them out there, as well as, especially for Tua, I'm like, I don't want to. I'm scared, man. I'm scared, and I hope the guy takes care of himself. Panthers versus Saints. Reason to watch? I can't think of one. Like perhaps Bryce Young, maybe. I don't know. Like I don't know why I shouldn't watch this game. Perhaps I should rather watch Steelers versus Giants, like review from last week, and that was not really a good game. But it's like probably better than this. I don't really know. Like both of these teams are absolute trash as of right now. Like Saints defense that was really holding this team together is playing like shit. Spencer Rattler like felt good for one game or half of one game, and then it just fell off the wagon, and you are kind of like, where is Derek Carr? And if you are waiting for Derek Carr to be back, you are like, yeah, that's not good, man. Bengals versus Raiders. Here I reference Joe Burrow, and actually both teams burrowed by coaches. And to me, I've expected much more from Lou Anarumo for this Bengals defense because it looks absolutely atrocious. So for Bengals, I already don't feel great about their head coach, and I felt at least good about their defensive coordinator. But with the defense playing like this, I really cannot like continue to apologize like last year, because last year defense was also not good. I felt to this year they will fix it. Nope, no. And towards Raiders, I mean, this might be premature for Antonio Pierce, but I'm like, dude, if what this team should have been with Antonio Pierce, kind of like what Lions were with Dan Campbell, like, we will fight, we are a scrappy team, we will fight, we will punch you, and it's going to hurt playing us. And like, if you cannot convert on 4 downs and the opponent goal 1 goal yard. It's like you got out physical by Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm not saying like Kansas anything bad or whatever. But dude, like this should be your identity. You cannot let this slip. And also the other part where I'm like, Antonio is actually kind of actively hurt them. I feel like 2 decisions or perhaps even like 3 games were heavily influenced by his mismanagement. I think it was like week 2 or week 1. I'm not sure, but he like decided to punt in absolutely stupid situation. And I mean, even here, like if you cannot get it on 3 downs, just kick the field goal, be 2 points from struggling Chiefs. Don't give them that edge that this team needs. Like, just, you know, just do it. So I think both of these teams are held by coaches. And I think for Bengals, it's most likely going to be fire them both after the season, like complete changeover. For the Raiders, I'm still like slightly optimistic that Antonio Pierce could turn this around, but like that swagger that, you know, we're gonna play hard, I just don't really feel it for Raiders. Cleveland versus Chargers, aka Browns versus Chargers. To me, this is all about scraping a win. Well, for the Browns, it was like really needed. They needed to win anyway, anyhow, and they actually managed to do it against Ravens. And I didn't want to make this about Deshaun Watson, though like we all kind of feel that, you know, Jameis versus Deshaun, it's like it lit up that team. But like Deshaun was not benched, he got hurt, and that's like the part where I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to like praise on that or whatever. So I'm not going to make this a title. And there's actual talent on this Browns roster. There is a reason why in my rankings they were about top 10 team in the NFL, and it's pretty much across the board. So I don't think anybody kind of wants to play them now when Nick Chubb is back, though he's definitely not back to his old self. And this team probably knows that it's not going anywhere, but they know it's not like closed. They can still do something and they can still do damage. So especially for their divisional opponents, this version of the Browns is not fun. On the other side, Chargers, this should have been their motto for the whole season. We want to play scrappy games, kind of Steelers way in a way. We want to win low scoring games, dominate on both lines of scrimmage. But last 2 weeks, they actually, I'm not saying they are not doing that, but they've added a bonus, and that bonus, his name is, well, they let Justin Herbert play much more with his hand. And boy oh boy, it was fun. Like in last 2 games, he was exceptional. And this version of Chargers is also a team that I think you don't actually want to meet. Like they are actually a good team, like sooner than I expected. Giants versus Commanders, and first touchdown coming. I wanted to add a question mark, but I'm like, I do trust Daniel Jones that he is going to finally throw for a touchdown in a home field after like 18 months or something like that, which is like insane. Obviously he was hurt for a better part of it, but it's like 5 or 6 games that he hasn't thrown a TD at his home stadium. I'm like, this has to stop. And Commanders defense, though like much better than expected, is still one that he should really score against. And I know Giants are kind of laughingstock, though I don't think they are the biggest laughingstock in the division. Hello Cowboys. They actually don't play that bad of football. Their D-line is really good with Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. They give anyone a push. And Tyron Tracy actually looking like a very nice running back. Malik Neighbors is everything that's been promised and perhaps even more. And Daniel Jones is kind of like not as bad as everyone wants to think he is. Like he is borderline, and I'm going to say borderline, like starting QB in the NFL. Like if he's paid $20 million a year, I think you are happy with him as a QB, or 15. Of course, with the way he is paid, you are not happy. I understand it. For the Commanders, this is all, well, let's continue riding on the Jaden Daniels train because that guy is exceptional. Titans versus Patriots. To me, who wants win? It should have not have 2, because that's not that's 4 words. I wanted only 3, so that's AI actually struggling to with some spelling. But I want to keep that because I really like this picture. And to me, it's like, I think neither of these teams actually want to win this game, because this is kind of like, this win will cost you about, on average, like 2 or 3 positions in the draft. And for both these teams, I think draft is what you should be excited about if you are a fan, because performances on the field ain't it. I mean, on one, like, there are some players that you can be excited, like for the Titans, Tony Pollard, I think Devondre Sweat actually looking quite nice. On the other side, Drake May looked actually very promising in several starts, but unfortunately he got concussed in his second start, so, And Christian Gonzalez, I think I was saying it pre-season, and he just flourished through 8 games so far. He's an exceptional young corner. But overall, I don't really think you want to win this game, because you ain't going anywhere this year, and this win actually hurts you. But I mean, nobody will play to lose, obviously. But as a matter of fact, if I was a fan, yeah, I would be obviously cheering for my team. But if I lost, I was like, okay, it probably helps in the long run. Eagles versus Jaguars, to me, they are both on different trajectories. I mean, again, I try, but AI does not cooperate on difficult words. So, Eagles, like 2 weeks ago, we were all firing Nick Sirianni, which I still think might be in the long term a really good move for the Eagles if they don't win Super Bowl this year, or they don't go like to Super Bowl. And we were definitely firing Jack Peterson, and we still are, because Jacks are really going downhill, and Eagles are definitely on very interesting trajectory right now, and they might break some top 10 teams list for now. The thing is, like, what do you want me to say? Like, I should really feel confident about, like a team that should be borderline top 10 team about beating Jaguars, because Jaguars feel bad. But I'm not. Like, I would not be shocked if Jaguars somehow win this game. Or it can be a blowout. I'm not really sure what to think about this one. I'm not excited about either of these teams, though. Like, again, Eagles are kind of on that upwards trajectory, but it's like Yates Saquon, AJ Brown is excellent, and yeah, like they have so much talent. Like they feel still this, like even those last 2 weeks when they played arguably their best ball of this year, or at least Jalen Hurts did, they still felt like under my expectations a little bit. Packers versus Lions. To me, this is no goofing, aka goofing around. I mean, it's like last 5 games, they have more touchdowns than incomplete passes. They are an absolute bully of an NFL. There's that insane statistic, everybody who plays Lions loses next week, because playing them is physically demanding. And what they did to Titans, it was almost cruel. Like, poor Titans. And it was like over 200 yards on punt returns. That's like, well, poor Titans, but what the fuck, Titans as well. And it's going to be super hard for the Packers to play this team. I think they are better physically prepared team than they were like in the era of Aaron Rodgers, when especially like those years when they always meet Tampa in the playoffs and kind of struggled against Tom Brady because Tampa just outmuscled them. I think they are in a better position, but still no way close to what Lions are in this area. So it should be a fun game. I think Packers are actually equipped to beat the Lions, because Jordan Love can make a lot of big plays that if there is a weakness on this Lions team, it's definitely their secondary. And it could be their best rush though, because of Aiden Hutchinson injury. So definitely, like, you have to take advantage of the defense. But if offense can control the game, as they did last couple of weeks, it's going to be super hard. But it should be very, very fun one. Seahawks versus Rams, guys, it was a hard watch for me as a Seahawks fan last week against the Bills. Yeah, it was hard. And like, come on, I need better performance. And still, we are splitting the first position in this division. Everyone is kind of 4-4, except for the Rams, which are I think 3-5 or 3-4. And to me, like, yeah, division for taking. Anyone, I think at this point, anyone can win this division. Though obviously, 49ers remains a heavy favorite. And these games are incredibly important for both of these teams. Like, Seahawks need to get back on the right track, though I just don't think we are on any track. We are just like on this roller coaster. And for the Rams, they are getting, as we see against Vikings, Cooper Kupp back, Puka Nacua back, so it starts to be that they are more healthy than they were during the first couple of weeks, and they could be very, very dangerous. Vikings versus Colts. Tired and retired. So, what am I referencing? I think you all know. It's obviously reference to Colts and their QB situation because last week, Anthony Richardson in his post-game interview said he was tired, that's why he took one play off. And like people like shitstorm him after this. And I'm like, really? Why? He's super athletic QB. We all knew that. And he is not accurate. He will never be an accurate QB. Like, I think if his completion in any point of his NFL career is over 60%, we are talking about like an elite status for him, you know, because like what he can do with his legs, with his body, that would be insane. I mean, Cam Newton was never an accurate QB, right? Josh Allen in his first couple of years, Lamar Jackson, like this kid's like what, 8th start or whatever. And he gets shitstorm for saying, well, after running 40 yards or whatever, after getting hit, I was really exhausted. I could not perform that one play to the best of my ability. So we have a guy on the bench that is absolutely prepared to start. He's ready, he started, and he is ready. You know, he's not some kind of rookie that you just throw into the wolves. It's Joe freaking Flacco. And people are like, well, you should be more political. And I'm like, dude, that's exactly what we don't want. Like, you want to come to conferences and be like, hearing that 10 phrases that everybody, you know, kind of has in their pocket. You want that? I don't. Like, I freaking don't want to hear that. I want to players to be real. You know, like, yeah, obviously you have to tune down some swearing and stuff, but other than that, just be real. Don't hate young man when he comes out and says, well, really, I was just exhausted. I felt like this is the better chance for us to do. Dude, I want this. So I'm definitely not making fun of Anthony Richardson for this. I think it was a good move, and I'm sad that when he came out and do that, it was like, yeah, you should have done that, be more political, it's bad, you know. And his benching, I just don't get it overall. Because, like, what do you think you are called? Like, maybe you can be a white card team, one and done with Joe Flacco. Or, you know, we can step into one of Joe Flacco exceptional game and you can be like, okay, one-man team in playoffs. That's it. This is a season when you need to evaluate what your future at QB is going to be. It's not going to be Joe Flacco, who was retired. That's second part of this three-word summary. Who was retired. He literally come out of the bench of the sofa last year. He's not your future. Anthony Richardson is, or you need to know if he isn't, because right now it seems like you broke on him. And like, if you felt like in his 8 starts he's going to be an accurate QB, like, what the hell was your draft process then? I don't understand it. So I'm sorry, this was a lot about Colts because I wanted to talk about this situation. Chiefs versus Bucks, and to me this can be summed up to not only 3 words, but 2 of those words are actually just 3 letters: THS versus Vea, aka Tunney, Humphrey and Smith, I think yeah, it's Smith, versus Vea, interior offensive linemen for Kansas City Chiefs, who are arguably the best interior three in the league, versus one of my favorite defensive line players, one of the best run stoppers in the game in Vea. I think that's going to be key matchup for this game. And if Bucks stand any chance that this game could be won by them, I think Vea needs to have performance of his life. That's really hard because he's put up some crazy ones already. And that's it for today. That's it for my preview. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you can, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a subscription, or reference me to anyone who enjoys NFL just as you do. I would be super happy. Thank you very much. See you with the next one. Bye bye.